That's the Canadian government there offering an update on Canadians who are stuck in Gaza. Lena Nasser is a Canadian with a father, brother, and extended family in Gaza. Right now, we've reached her in Mississauga, Ontario. Hi, Miss Nasser. Very good of you to make time for our program tonight. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
I just want to start off because we are following this developing story right now of the hospital in Gaza that was hit. Have you had any contact with your brother?
I have, yes.
And is he okay?
He's okay. My whole family's okay.
Okay, I'm really glad to hear that. Tell us a little bit more about the situation your brother faces right now and your family.
Well, my family right now, they're separated in different homes. They don't have access to clean water. They haven't showered in 7 days. They can't use the toilet. There's no way to get rid of all the garbage they have. It's really hard what they're going through right now.
What is it like to be on the other end of those conversations and to know the specifics of what your family is having to endure right now?
It's really hard being here. You know, sometimes I wish I was there, and to just listen to what they're going through, to see videos of bombings going off near where they are, it's really scary. It's devastating, and I just can't imagine what it would be like to be there.
When you hear, like we do, kind of these reports coming in of these very devastating and destructive attacks, for example, this one on the hospital, like what goes through your head right away?
Fear, pain, loss, shock, so many different things. My heart was shattering. I was breaking down when I saw the news. Hundreds of people were died. For what? For what reason?
Have you, or has your brother had any luck? We were also just listening to Canadian officials, right, talk about these efforts to try and get Canadians out of Gaza, to help them, how difficult it is, but also they said there is some progress. They seem to indicate, there weren't a lot of specifics, but they did seem to indicate there's some progress. Is your brother getting any of those messages? Is there any reason for him to have hope that he could be evacuated?
What progress? My family's still in Khan Yunis, and they don't have any means to get out of there. They say that the border is opening, but it hasn't opened since the attacks have begun, and the border has been bombed 3 different occasions by Israel. My family is running out of fuel. They can't, even if the border opens, they can't even guarantee they're going to be able to arrive there. There's no fuel in the cars to be able to drive to the border multiple times to see if it's open.
How far away from the border are they?
I don't know, around 30, 45 minutes.
Right.
I'm not sure exactly, but...
And my other sort of guess, for lack of a better word, is that it's not easy to have consistent communication, right? Like if the government, for example, like are they even getting any messages from the government, I guess, is what I'm wondering?
Sometimes they receive emails, but those emails, what are they going to do?
Right. What are you and your family hoping that the government does do here, this government, the Canadian government?
Ask for a ceasefire, demand a ceasefire. There have been way too many Palestinian lives lost in the past week. Almost 4,000, maybe above 4,000 people have died. Ask for a ceasefire. The Palestinians do not deserve what's going on right now. Demand humanitarian aid to enter the Gaza Strip if they don't want to have a ceasefire. People don't have food. They don't have water. What are they going to do?
It seems like there were some discussions among the Americans, for example, between the Americans in Israel and Egypt about opening up the border to some degree, but none of that has come to fruition. I'm sure, like me, you're even more so paying attention to every little development in that vein. And do you feel like your hopes are kind of brought up and then come crashing down? Like, how has that been?
My hopes haven't been brought up at all.
Right.
Israel is dropping white phosphorus on people in the Gaza Strip. They're bombing hospitals, homes, streets, people fleeing. It doesn't seem like Israel wants to help the Palestinians in Gaza whatsoever. They say that they're targeting Hamas militants, but so far it seems like they're targeting civilians.
Do you feel like if the international community, Canada very much included, increased the amount of pressure they placed on Israel, for example, or talked more about contravening international law or the desire to not see that, do you think if there was more of that, that could affect change, that could make something different?
Of course, the world needs to stand together against this oppressive regime. Israel is committing genocide against the Palestinian people in the Gaza Strip. We need to stand above that, and we need to stop it from happening.
Do you have any faith? I mean, I've listened very carefully to the way in which politicians have responded to this. Obviously, the initial attack by Hamas brought on a lot of condemnation and support for Israel. That has certainly evolved to a certain degree, given what's happening in Gaza. But many of them stop short of what you're asking them to do. And they also talk about Israel's right to defend itself. How would you respond to that?
What is Israel defending itself against? They have been the occupier for the past 75 years. They put Gaza under a siege for 17 years. No right to move, no travel. They bombed the airport. The only entrance points are through Egypt and the Israeli Bet Hanun border. What Israel is defending itself against a people that has been oppressed for decades. I can't imagine Israel being the one to defend itself. It's the Palestinians that have the right to retaliate and defend themselves. It's a resistance.
And what are you hearing from your brother right now? Like, when you do communicate, is it very brief, just sort of like, are you okay kind of thing? Or is he able to talk to you and your family about his fears and about what he's enduring?
Of course, about the fears. My brother's wife, her niece, just died in a bombing 2 days ago. They communicate all the bad news that's happening when they can. They try and tell me that they're okay for now, but my other brother's wife, she's pregnant. Every day we worry that she's going to miscarry from all the stress that she's undergoing. The people don't deserve what they're going through.
Ms. Nasser, I'm going to leave it there. I really appreciate you making the time for this, and I do wish the very best for you and your family.
Thank you so much.